Started recording. Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Kesley Anderson, and I am joined with Joy and Lindsay on the back side. They're there to give me a hand and help answer questions as they come up in the webinar and guide you along. We are super excited you are here today to learn about the Explore. I have my new Explore 3 behind me. And the way we're going to do the class is we do have some slides just to kind of give a broad overview. And then we'll be showing you what you can create with your Explore and why this might be the right machine for you if you're looking to get a new smart machine or upgrade, or you're just getting started. So we're super excited you're here. The first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to talk a little bit about the machine, and we are going to get 9 feet of holographic iron-on vinyl cutting, and it's going to work behind me, so you'll be able to see how quickly the Explore 3 cuts and works. So we'll get that set up in just a second. Let me go ahead and I'll share my screen to get us started, and I'll do a little switch back and forth between sharing my screen and coming back and talking to you all so you can see everything. And let me go ahead and start here. All right, so Cricut Explore 3. Welcome. It launched last night on the website. We do have other members of the Explore family in stores right now, the Explore 2, and we'll talk a little bit about the difference, but we'll mostly be focusing on the Explore 3 today. The Explore 3 is here to help you launch your creative spark. If you are looking at getting a smart machine because you have great ideas, you want to make t-shirts, you want to label things, you're a teacher, you want to do bulletin boards. Trust me, my mom was a teacher, so I know how much work and effort goes into bulletin boards. This guy is going to make that so much faster come the new school year. So let's go ahead and learn how the Explorer can save you time and help you make more. The Explore 3, it will open up a world of possibilities for you. And I say that and you might be like, yeah, whatever, but it really does. When you start using a smart machine to add a tool to your creative toolbox, you will be amazed at where your mind is going next. You may just be thinking, you know what, I just want to make some t-shirts, or I scrapbook, I want to make cards, I want to do things a little bit faster and easier than by cutting it out by hand. Then you get this guy home and you're like, oh my gosh, I could do tumblers. I can organize an entire closet in an afternoon, and your creativity just goes through the roof, and everybody is going to have monograms on everything. I think somebody told me the other day, Reese Witherspoon said, if it's not moving, it's getting a monogram. So you will be that person, and you'll be that mom, because it's just such a tool in your toolbox. Some of the features, now I will go ahead and I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you can actually walk us through the features on the machine itself. So the Explore 3 has this cute little cubby hole on the back side here that is designed, it's a little bit deeper so it holds all your tools, and then it has a smaller pocket in the front. Now both pockets have silicone in the bottom. Who would have thought that that was something important? But when you put a tool in there, one of your blades, you put it in there, it won't ding your blade and it won't damage your holder. So I just think that's a great little feature there. You'll also notice that our machines are getting smarter and smarter as you guys are crafting more and more. We've removed the dial on the Explore 3 so that all of your material choices will be done through Design Space. Now let's open this up. You tap a button over here that you open with, and the magic begins to happen. Inside, you have two holders here. The one labeled A will hold a pen or a stylus tool. So if you want to address labels, if you want to do wedding cards, if you want to make tags, if you want to, just trying to think of what else I write on when I pull up my pen, I use it to draw things. So you just insert a pen and there's so many different colors that you can work with. You also can add a stylus tool in this clamp. This will allow you to score cards or boxes. Really, it's limitless, but you can score with it. And then this guy over here, this is your tools clamp. Oops, it's giving me. And you can, this is one of the tools that goes in there. This is the fine point blade, and it comes with the machine, and you just drop it in there and close and lock the clamp, and it's ready to go. With your Explore Air 3, you can cut over 100 different materials. And we're going to talk about a new material Cricut is launching called Smart Material. So you'll notice the Explore 3 is a little bit wider. I'm sorry, it's not wider. It allows for wider cutting. You have a little bit more cutting area when using Smart Materials. It uses mats too. So Smart Materials come in Smart Vinyl, Smart iron-on vinyl, and we have permanent vinyl and removable vinyl, all in Smart Materials. But there's still 97 at least other materials that you'll use the cutting mats to cut with. Now, the Smart Vinyl does come in these super huge rolls. This is a 9-foot roll. This is the largest roll you'll find at Michael's. It's 9 feet, and then the other rolls are 3 feet. And it's so easy to use. That's what is another awesome feature. I need my scissors. That is another awesome feature about the Explore Air 3 is you can expand the amount that you're cutting. So normally you're limited to a 12 by 24 inch mat, but with Smart Materials, you can cut as long as I think it's 108 inches or 9 feet. You guys can do the math. I lost my sticky note that told me how many inches that was, but you can cut that long a piece. And we're actually, since I get this open, we are going to go ahead and get a piece started so that you can see how it works. All right. So this is the holographic iron-on vinyl I'm pulling out here. And it is so pretty. I can get it out of the box. Okay, here it is. This is the holographic blue vinyl. Doesn't that just scream summer to you? So this shiny side is the carrier side, and this side is the adhesive side. So we actually are going to cut this entire 9-foot roll while we're talking about the machine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my design space and show you how easy. Now, before I get too far ahead, if you're not familiar with Cricut, Cricut has a software called Design Space, and everything you make in Cricut, you put through Design Space. So when if you're new to Cricut, you'll want to make sure that you have computer capabilities to work with the Cricut machine. And there's a great, on the website, we do list out what type of computer you want to have, not type of computer, but what requirements your computer might have that you'll need. So you want to make sure that you have the computer, and then you'll download Design Space. Now you can also use Design Space on an iPad or a phone. So if you don't have a computer or you have an older computer, you can use your iPad or any other tablet and a mobile phone and use that with your machine. So that is super exciting. But since I'm on my desktop, I'm going to go ahead and share my Design Space with you so you can see how easy it is to cut something. So I will go to, looks like I'm working on something here. I'm just going to save this project, and I'm going to pull up my projects. So when you are on Design Space, if you save something, if you design something and you want to save it, then you can just go to My Projects, and all your projects will show up here, and you can select the project it's thinking. I may have gone too fast. Oh, looks like I don't have any projects. Let's try that again. Let me go back to the home, and I'll pull up my project. Looks like I don't have any projects. All right, no problem. Sometimes this happens, and it's like I said, my computer is being very slow today. So I think that is on me. So what I do when that happens, I quit the software, and then I will reopen my Cricut software, my design space, and we will go from there. Let me find that. Okay, so while I'm working on that, Joy, is there any question that I can answer?
Just to let everybody know, we have the Q&A. If you have a question, feel free to type it into the question and answer area. Lindsay and I are here in the background to help answer questions. We don't have any so far, but we are super, super excited, Kesley, that you are here to teach us about the machine and showing us. I love that that you're able to even show us when there's a little glitch. What do you do to get going?
Yeah, because it happens, right? It's like any kind of software. It happens. I have been using it a lot, so it's probably tired. So it happens. Okay, so here is I'm sharing my screen now, and this is my design space. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up this project that I was working on to print t-shirts. We're going on a family trip, and I was going to print t-shirts for the whole family. So I'm going to go ahead and select customize on those t-shirts. Now, when you find that, this is the great thing too. If you're a beginner getting started with creativity, you don't have to come up with every creative idea on your own. Cricut has an entire library of over 100,000 different designs that you can pick from with Cricut Access and use on your own creativity. So now it's asking me am I going to cut with a mat or without a mat? And since I'm using Smart Material, I say without a mat, and I say I'm ready for it. And then it shows the length. Look at how long that is, 102.75 inches, and I'm cutting it without a mat. So this is where one of the time-saving features comes in. I'm not having to measure my vinyl. I don't have to prepare a mat. If I were to cut 10 different t-shirts, they're 10 inches long. Each design is 10 inches. So I would have to prepare that 5 different times on a 12 by 24 inch mat. All that time I'm saving. So let me go ahead and say continue. It's going to my Explore 3, not my Maker.
I was going to tell you, you might need to take a few steps backwards and choose your Explore 3. We have 2 new machines that are coming out. And Kesley has both.
Yes, I do. And you know what? I think, Joy, what happened is I moved it across the room and I didn't reconnect my Bluetooth. So let me tell you guys, this is very exciting. Your machines work with Bluetooth and it is connected. Okay.
Kesley, you just need to go back to your canvas and choose your Explore 3. Your Maker 3 is selected right now.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Thank you, Joy.
No problem.
Don't you guys wish you had Joy on your shoulder when you're late at night working on your crafts? Like, where's Joy? All right, here we go. Let's do this. Okay, review artwork, continue. And the good thing is it really does go to show like everybody has a learning curve. So this is really not my first time, but this machine is my first machine using Smart Material with so much success. So I'm going to be using the Smart Iron-On Holographic. So it automatically pops up. The software talks to your Maker, or excuse me, your Explorer, and it tells the Explorer, okay, she's using this material. This is how hard you need to push on that to cut that material. So I'm going to go ahead with the default settings. I've got my fine tip there. Now, let me show you guys.
Double click also to make sure that you have your mirroring on.
Always important. I want to show you this real quick before I load my materials in. This is the roll holder, and it has a trimmer on it. So you slide your roll of vinyl in here, and then when you get to the end, after it's sucked in the machine and it's done all the good stuff, you slide across and it cuts your vinyl after the cut. So this is a really good add-on to your machine. It doesn't come with the machine, but you can add it on. I'm going to show you today with my cart here how you can cut it even without a roll holder. So let me go back into my design space. Lots of back and forth. Thank you guys for being so patient. And Joy's right. I did not mirror my vinyl. And so this is going to be on a t-shirt. So I always want to mirror that. I click on the edit button and I just scroll down and I turn on the mirror. And it flips my image automatically and flips it for me. So I say done. And I can't tell you how many times I've cut vinyl on the wrong side. I even put on the box, dull side down. So the shiny side on this, like I said, is the carrier side. So we're actually going to put that side down and it's going to cut on the dull side, which is the actual vinyl side. So it tells me it's ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead and load my material in this. So I put it in and I push it underneath these little guides here. And there's guides on the side too. So this is what keeps your vinyl from going wonky. If you've used a cutter without the guides, it can go really wonky and crazy. So it's the guides keep your vinyl from going out of line. So I put it in there. My load light is flashing and it's telling me to go ahead and load it. So I'm going to load it in. Now this is the fun part. What your machine does with the software is it's going to take in all the vinyl and it's going to make sure that I have enough vinyl on the roll to cut it. Now, if I had my roller up here, it would hold this all in a nice little tucked spot like that. So I'm just going to kind of keep my hand and make sure it doesn't roll off the cart too soon. But it can go down while we're talking. It'll go back and forth. So I'm not worried about it. It's like going all the way back there. So it does all the vinyl. It measures it out for me, and then it's going to bring it back. Now, what's really cool is when I made this design the first time, I tested it, and it took a minute and a half to cut the design. So it should cut all of these in about 15 minutes, which is amazing. You can get 10 cuts in 15 minutes. All right, got a little lint on there. Now it's going to tell me I have enough vinyl and my go button is lit up. And if you have a former Cricut machine, you'll notice they changed the button. So now it's more universal to look like a play button. And I just am going to go ahead and let that go. And you'll see it'll start making some noises. It beeps at me a little bit and it's off. We're off to the races. So I'm going to let this just go down and it'll just pull it back and keep working along. So let's talk a little bit more about some of the other features on the Explorer. I'm going to share my screen again and we'll talk about some of the other features. Oops. So we talked about the cubby hole. It cuts with 6 different tools. You have, it cuts in record time with that smart material. Not only am I saving time by not having to put it on mats, but it just cuts faster without the mat, with the smart material. And the smart material, I've been cutting with the smart material, and then I had some other vinyl I was cutting, and I was like, oh yeah, I have to put it on a mat. So I had to remind myself to do that. So some of the different tools, it comes with the fine point tool, and then you can add the stylus tool on the A clamp. You have the deep point blade, which is an additional blade. You have a blade for bonded fabric, and bonded fabric is fabric that you've adhered to something, either a stabilizer or like freezer paper or something like that to make your fabric sturdier. And you just would use a mat for that. And then the foil tip, which has 3 different weights of foil, and that will work on your maker with your Explorer with a mat too. Okay, So how does it work? If you're new to Cricut, how do you make this magic happen? You see all these great ideas on Pinterest and you're just like, I can make that, I can do that. So you pick a project or you design your own in Design Space. And again, you can use Design Space on your laptop, desktop, a mobile device, and a tablet device. And Michaels offers a Cricut 101 class free every month to help you learn how to use Design Space. Then the second thing, you let the machine cut or write and it does its magic, and then you put it together. So you put it together either with transfer tape, if it's an adhesive vinyl, or a heat press, if it's iron-on vinyl, or you're just gluing and pasting at that point. So it's really 3 simple steps to get started. And the projects you create are up to you. It's up to you what you want to make and what you want to do. So to talk about the Smart Vinyl real quick, the Smart Vinyl is 13 inches wide and it cuts 11.75 inches wide. So it's a little bit wider and you don't need the mat. So it cuts right on the vinyl. And I actually have a project to share with you that I used vinyl on that I'll show you a little bit later. It's just, it weeds like butter. It's amazing how easily it weeds out. And then you have the permanent vinyl, and the permanent vinyl, I use permanent vinyl if I want something to last, or if it's going to be washed, if it's going to be outside, I will use the permanent vinyl. And it has so many different colors that are available. It is dishwasher friendly, so you can put it in the dishwasher, and it's weather and fade resistant. And the Cricut regular, just the Cricut, now I can't remember what I've been using Smart Vinyl so much. The other Cricut permanent vinyl is also weather and fade resistant. I have flower bins I made for my son's graduation in 2018, and they're still on my deck and they still look just as good. So it really does last a long time. And then you have the removable vinyl. Same type of roll system on, you don't need a mat with it. And you can use this for home decor. If you're decorating something, and this is what I have to show you that we'll be making, using removable vinyl. Like if I'm doing a party and I want to label something, I will use removable vinyl, and you can take it off up to 2 years without leaving any residue. So that's a great thing to have in your toolkit. And then the roll holder, which is sold separately from the machine. This machine retails at $2.99. The machine retails for $2.99. And then you can just add on additional blades if you want, and the roll holder if you want. It's up to you what type of crafting you're doing. If you're looking at the Explorer as a card maker or a paper crafter, you might not want the roll holder right away. But as you grow your crafting and you get started into making t-shirts or, you know, big vinyl banners, you might want to pick those things up. And that is the great thing about the Explorer, is it will grow with you. So you may have your toe in one craft right now, but we all know as crafters, we're changing and we're trying new crafts all the time. So it will grow with you as your crafting grows. And the other thing is, how awesome is it to make something handmade? So at Cricut, we want to celebrate what you're making and what you're doing. And we want to give you the tools to make that happen. All right, so this is cruising along. I love it. I've got, maybe I'm halfway through, not sure, but it's doing a great job. And if I go to my Design Space, it will show me, let me go to my Design Space so you guys can see. It will show me the progress of, I was more optimistic. It's 41%. So it'll show you the progress as you move along, as the cutting moves along, how far you have, if you have time to run and grab a cup of coffee, or if you need to wait a little longer. Okay. So while this is working away, why don't I go to my overhead and I can show you a couple other things I've got in the works. We can, if you want to do a dual screen, Kelly, so they can see this continuing to cut, we can do that. I don't know if we can or not.
I don't think we can do that, but I can switch back and forth. That's a great idea.
going to move my chair so they can really get the whole view. All right. So I have over here, I've been working with some of the other types of vinyl that will be available at Michael's. I'm really loving, my shimmer is one of my favorites, but that holographic vinyl is so fantastic. I'm hoping the reflection won't be too much for you guys. So I have a t-shirt that I'm going to go ahead and heat this up, and I'm going to go ahead and make, go ahead and put this on there. Now, I would normally go to the Cricut website. So I may need somebody to give me the heat numbers to look up. Oh, actually, I can go to, let me see here. I should have.
I got it for you, Kesley, if you need it.
Say that one more time.
Kesley,
Joy?
I can put it in. I can put it in if you want me to.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
So you're using the holographic iron-on. So what you would do is go to Cricut.com, and there is a heat press, an easy press tool that you can type in what you're using. She's using holographic iron-on, and the base material, Kesley, you're going to be using your Easy Press mat.
Yes.
And then your t-shirt, is it 100% cotton or does it have some poly in it?
I think it's 100% cotton, Joy. It's the Bella canvas. It is 52% cotton, 48% polyester.
Okay.
Feels like 100% cotton though.
So we can choose the cotton poly,
Okay.
and our tool will tell us that your Easy Press needs to be set to 330 degrees Fahrenheit,
Okay.
and you are going to press for 30 seconds. But remember, you want to warm up your t-shirt first. So you're going to warm up the t-shirt for about 15 seconds.
Yep.
And then you'll apply your holographic sparkle.
Yep.
For 30 seconds, and then flip it over and add pressure for another 15 seconds.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my temperature on my heat press back to 330. So I'm at 360. So I just hit the temperature button there and I bring it back down to 330. And while that's cooling down for me, how many seconds?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. So I'm going to bring my timer down to 30 seconds. Now, yep.
I was gonna say, if you press and hold,
Yeah, you're right.
it'll go faster.
Your name should be Angel, not Joy. You're like a crafting angel today. So the great thing I love about these heat presses is how many different materials you can use. So I had it on a setting for infusible ink that I was doing a while ago. So it's great. It works across all the different mediums you're using. So I'm going to slide my shirt down just a little bit here. I have more space. So I've got my mat. I put my mat inside my shirt. And I'm going to just move some things here so I can show you all. All right, so here we go. So while my machine is cutting, I can be busy putting together the shirts, which is awesome. All right, so this is, okay. So now to place my, my design on my shirt, I usually like the middle of my design. I kind of start off with the middle of my design at my armpits here. And then I put 3 fingers on my neck and measure down. Now, everybody has a different way of doing it. You can even get templates that will help you do your measurements. You can put a T-square here to measure and make sure you're coming straight down from the tag there. And there we go. So we can just measure and make sure we're coming straight down on the tag, which I am. And then you can measure across and make sure you've got it 3 inches there, 3 inches there. So that's a great position for me in the center. And as Joy said, I need to heat up my t-shirt before I put this down. So I'm going to just kind of bring this off to the side there. and give a little heat here. And make sure that my heat press is down far enough on my t-shirt to cover everything, which I think it's up a little high. So I'm gonna pull that down. So it's on my t-shirt here. There we go. Bring that back down, smooth out any wrinkles.
And Kesley, this is what you're cutting right now on the machine, right?
Yes, this is what is cutting on the machine.
And you've already weeded this one.
I did weed this for the interest of TV, our live TV audience. I did go ahead and weed this ahead of time. So it's all ready to go and you guys wouldn't have to watch me weed. But I did weed, I cut these out already once and I did the weeding of 10 of them. And it took me about, I'd say like 20 minutes to weed all of them like this. Okay, so there's my shirt there. I've got it positioned and I'm just going to use my press this down, get it nice and warm. And then we'll put this down. Make sure I'm all lined up.
And Kesley, did you get that whale design in Design Space?
I did. It's actually a combination of a bunch of different designs. So I hit the Cricut Joy and that starts the timer and I'll start counting down. And I'm a little bit, my machine is a little bit small. So I'm just going to set it on one side and count it down. And then I'm going to put it on the other side and count it down from there. Let me move it. I'm actually move it halfway through there. Oh, I'm almost at the end here. We're getting there.
And Kesley, as you're working with this, I know that a holographic iron-on is a cool peel, but some of our other iron-ons are warm peels.
Right. So a cool peel means you want to let it cool down. So that's why we're doing this at the top of the class. So I can do it and then let it cool down and not be stressed if it peeled off or not. And the great thing too about the iron-on vinyl, if for some reason I didn't, like you notice I had to move it because my heat press wasn't quite big enough. If you moved it and you didn't quite get all of it, then you can just go back and heat press it again and it'll settle it down for you. So if that happens, you can definitely go back. So I'm just pressing the back here like Joy suggested, and there we go. So now I'm going to turn off my machine there, and I'm going to set this aside so this can cool while I show you some other fun things that you can make with your Cricut Explore. So this is a shimmer vinyl. And it comes in a roll. It is not smart material. So when you cut it, you do want to put it on a mat. And I'm using the standard mat, which works on a lot of different fabrics. I mean, a lot of different materials, the standard mat. And as soon as this is done, we can pop this into the machine and I'll actually show you that cutting. But I did go ahead and cut it because I wanted to show you guys how amazing this shimmer vinyl weeds. So if you're getting started with a cutting machine, weeding is when you remove all of the design out of, when you remove what you don't want on the design off of the vinyl. So I don't want the outside pieces, and you just start pulling and removing and it just peels back so nicely. Once you have it all weeded, you can use, I'm using these big parts right now, so I'm just using my fingers for this. But as I step back in the design, my whales get a little bit smaller and a little bit more intricate. So I need to be using my weeding tool so that I can get all of those little details pulled out of the design. So for this, I have, again, with the magic of television, I have gone ahead and weeded this design here. Now this, I used the same whale and I just made him smaller, and I added a monogram to this design. And then I added strong grip transfer tape, which is a transfer tape you want to use, if you're using a shimmer vinyl or a textured vinyl. And then I have these great little tumblers from Michael's. I think these are like 99 cents or something right now, but they're a great deal. Definitely probably under $3. And I'm going to go ahead and remove my vinyl from my transfer onto my vinyl from its backing onto the transfer tape. So I can transfer the design to my cup. And I'm just pulling it off like this. I'm putting a little bit of pressure on the back and it's just walking it right off. And there we go. So super easy. The great thing about the transfer tape is it has grid. So if you're getting started, if you're like, I want to make tumblers, it really helps you with your guide. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this down on the glass like this. And I'm going to touch the monogram down with my finger. And then I'm going to wrap it around the glass here. And I'm keeping the bottom lined up. Now I did a 4x9 rectangle and then added the monogram and added the whales in Design Space. And this is a project that you can find or you can make on your own. Then I come, see I'm back at the beginning. And now I just want to carefully pull my transfer and I kind of wiggle it back and forth and walk it off. So you just remove that off of there like this. So if anybody still needs it, okay, now see, I didn't pick that up, no worries. I just go back, I give it a little rub, and then I peel it off a little bit more carefully. These are great teacher's gifts, or if you have like a sports team that you need to make something for and you need to make a lot of them, this is perfect for you because again, you can cut out a bunch of them and they go quickly. So on this type of design, I did another one with fewer lines on it, so I didn't have so much to weed because I thought these would be cute for my lacrosse team. Here we go. There's my tumbler.
Kenzie, that's so cute.
Isn't it adorable? So this now is finished. I didn't time it, but it's gone all the way through. I can see the end. It's cut through here. So we'll go ahead and take it out of the machine. Now, again, if I had my roll holder here, it would roll it up for me. But since I don't, I'm going to do that for myself. Now, when you're weeding something like this, I spread it out on the dining room table. You could cut it down if you need to, or you can just weed it right on the roll. So we'll go back over here and you can see that I have all the designs have cut. Oh, they're beautiful. And I would use my weeding tool. I'd grab my weeding tool and I would go in and you pull it out and you just weed that holographic. Oh my goodness, look at that. Sorry. I get so excited. This and the shimmer. And if you have a little tricky spot, you just hold it down like that and you just pull it off. So honestly, your family reunion shirts can be done now in an afternoon instead of an entire day or evening, or you feel like, oh my goodness, I could never make 10 shirts for my family members. Now you'll notice some of the holographic is sticking on there. That's totally okay because it doesn't have, the adhesive is coming up too, but you just probably want to be take a little bit more time than I'm doing right here and just walk yourself around and weed it. So you weed your materials. Now, if you're just getting started with Cricut, there is lingo, Cricut lingo, like weeding is something, or putting it on a mat is another thing that wouldn't make sense in a dinner, in a happy hour conversation. But there we go. How pretty is that? So should we check and see, have I let my shirt cool enough?
Oh yeah, you probably have left that long enough.
Okay.
This is, I love the holographic, Kez. This is so pretty.
Me too. I think I'm going to be using this a lot. But okay, and I would go back in and take those bits out. But if there were little bits, I really wouldn't worry about it because on my shirt here that I finished, I have little bits on that I did not, I didn't take out before doing it, but they don't have the adhesive on the back, so it's not going to stay. So to take this off, I'm just going to see there was a little bit right there that didn't come off, and there's a bit right there. So you just sort of start to walk it and peek and say, is it stuck? Yes, it did. And then I'm just going to walk it around and make sure it's came down on everything. And it did. I really hope the camera is showing you guys how pretty this is.
It is, we're seeing like a little bit of blue, a little bit of gold, a little bit of pink.
Yeah, it's the blue holographic. So I was expecting it to be more blue. But I love all the different colors that are coming out. And maybe it still needs to cool a little bit. I may be going a little fast. Okay, but there we go. So you see my little bits that I didn't weed off. They didn't transfer onto my shirt, which is awesome. But there we go. Hello, well, hello there. Summer of 2021. We're ready to go to the beach. But not quite yet, because I have one more thing to share with you. So another great, do I have time to throw the shimmer through? Do you want me to show you that?
Yes, you have, it's 45 minutes. You have 15 minutes left.
Okay.
So yeah, I think so.
Okay, why don't I share my screen again? And I will show you, I'll show everybody how I go. So I finished this project. And I go back to my other projects I've made, and I'm going to grab this tumbler project right here. So here's my fancy whales, and then these were my less fancy whales. And I've put my shimmer vinyl on my mat. I'm going to click make it. It takes it all, it checks my artwork to make sure it's compatible with the machine I have. It's compatible with the mat I have. So it's telling me I'm going to cut it on mat. And I'm going to say done. So this is how it's going to cut for me. I say continue. I don't need to mirror it because it's a adhesive vinyl. And I select my material. So whatever material you're working with, it will tell you what material is compatible with your machine. So I'm going to use the shimmer premium vinyl right there. And I select that material, and it's telling me my load light is flashing. So I'm going to pull that in, and then it's going to measure it and make sure I have enough material to actually make the cut. That is a new feature that I don't know if the 2 does that, but I really appreciate that it makes sure, like, do I have a 12-inch mat or 24-inch mat, or do I have 100? Do I really have 102 inches of vinyl? And then I hit the play button, and that's going to go ahead and cut for me. And while that's cutting, I can show you one more project I made using the smart removable vinyl. So this time I made a design. Let me stop sharing. I'm sorry, Kelly. There we go. So this design I had, like we were talking about, I was mentioning when you would do something with removable vinyl versus permanent vinyl. So I have this machine, buckets that are great for towels at the pool. And I got these at Michael's. They have like 4 or 5 different colors. So they're awesome to have around the house, but I use them all year long. So if I put a whale hello there on there, then, I could do it for Christmas and put something here, but then what do I do for Halloween and Easter and everything like that? So I made, if you can go to my overhead, I have, and I've already weeded a whale hello there on removable vinyl. And I just am going to add that. I don't know. This might be a little big. We'll give it a shot though, right? Let me do this. Okay. So, so I've got this here. Oh yeah, you can see that. So again, I use the transfer tape, and now this design is a little bit smaller pieces than the other one. Actually, not so much the tumbler, but you just peel off the transfer tape. So I added that before the class. Let me find it. It's there. If that happens, just go to another corner or try and pull it from an air bubble. That happens to me, especially I have little stubby nails. So you just remove the transfer tape from the vinyl, and I do like to turn it over and go from the back side. So I'll put my wedge here and I hold it, and then I kind of see how my fingers are walking it back off of it. And if it doesn't catch, I kind of grab it. I'll go back and make sure it catches it. And if you're a beginner, or you're just getting started with this, it does take practice. Like I have beginners go like, how do you weed that so quickly? But it just is something, it's like, folding a towel. Once you get the hang of it, you don't even think about it. And you just are weeding your projects and pulling the transfer tape off, and you learn what to look for. So you learn to like watch for the little pieces that maybe don't come off easily. And then you just know to go back and make sure that came off the way you wanted it to. So again, I'm just kind of shaking back and forth, going back where it doesn't work. And you can like manipulate that a little bit and roll it. And then again, I just find the middle of my design. You can notch it if you want to, or you can eyeball it. It's right on that transfer tape line for me. Oops. And you can do the taco method and put it right down on your design, right in the middle there. Now, since this is removable, I don't really worry too much about being exactly perfect with it because it's removable. So I can take it on and off when I'm ready to change my design. So when another kid graduates, I did do my flower boxes in that permanent vinyl, and I wish I hadn't because I had 2 more graduate, and I had to put new flower boxes, but that's okay. Okay, so we just go like this and you work that in. This has a ridge on it, so you really do want to make sure that you work it into that ridge. I'm making sure it's going to hold on to that ridge there. But that just goes on like this. Now, the shimmer vinyl, if you were to use, again, I walk the transfer tape off the vinyl. So I just kind of like walk it back and forth. And I know I'm looking for those little things like the dots on the eyes and centers of O's that don't always want to stick down where you were telling them to stick down. And I'm just pulling this off, walking it along. And look at that, my other project has finished. My little shimmer stickers has finished. Wow. Now, if you're looking at the Smart Vinyl and you're like, but I didn't use a whole sheet, and I feel like I'm wasting it, you can cut off the vinyl that you don't use and save it, and then you can use it again with your mat. So you don't have to, like, if you didn't cut in that square, then you don't, you would just cut it later on using your mat, or you can stack up your designs. So if you're doing some little designs, you can stack up your designs. And talking about, I mentioned paper before, cardstock paper to make cards or scrapbooks, but with the Cricut machines, you can make stickers, like the stickers you put on a Hydro Flask or other water bottle out of paper. You can print those designs and cut them out. Now you can save your transfer tape and use it again. So I'll probably try and put that back down so I can have that for another use. But there's my hello there, whale hello there. And so this was only 10 inches. If I were to cut more, because this cuts in 11.5 inches, I would have 1.5 inches to write towels, or, I could put something on the back side here to say what goes in this bin, or I could put all the different family members' names on it, who are at the beach for that week or something like that. And then we have a nice bucket that it becomes a memory piece.
Such a great idea, Kesley.
Isn't that cute?
We have a number of people who want to know if this design is something that you can make available for them to use, Or if they
Yeah.
follow you, can they find your design in Design Space?
Absolutely. This is, yes, let me go like this. If they find Kesley Anderson, this is on, so I'm sharing my screen so they could see how to do that. So if they wanted to go into their Design Space, how to find this design. So you would just, I don't think you know what, Joy, I don't think I've done this to be shareable yet, but I certainly would be happy to do that. And my profile, if they look up my profile, it's Kesley.
Is it just Kesley or Kesley Anderson?
Kesley Anderson. And can I add in the chat? I don't know if I can. Let's try.
You can put it into the,
There we go.
oh, there you go.
Yeah. So that's my profile. So if you go to my profile, I will certainly make those active for anybody to make them because they're so cute and you can edit them too. You don't have, like, if you want to use them for summer of 2025, you can do that.
Kesley, you have shared so many good ideas today. I think between showing us how to apply permanent vinyl, smart vinyl, all from the entire line of Cricut materials, showing that this great new machine doesn't just have to do smart materials. You can put materials on mats and use it that way. I love the t-shirt. Will you show us the t-shirt one more time? Because I think it's so pretty.
I wish I could go get it. Oh, and you know what? Actually, before we go, let me go look at that. I love it.
That's so pretty.
I think I would catch some eyes on the beach. Let me go grab something that I did. Sorry, Joy, I should have this handy, but it's so big.
You're fine. See, this is the wonderful thing about being able to broadcast classes live from our craft rooms. You guys are literally in Kesley's class, her craft room. So she always runs around the corner and gets something. There you go.
I do. Check this out. This is the whale hello there on 9 feet of vinyl. I cut, I think 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 images. So can you imagine, like, if you're a teacher and you have to do a bulletin board, you could just use that removable vinyl, and this would go along your bulletin board or your times tables in your classroom. If you are doing like a big surprise party, a celebration, an anniversary, you could make a big, huge removable sign and put it on a wall for the event. I mean, you don't realize what you can do with 9 feet of vinyl until you have it in your hands. And then you're like, I could do this and I could do this. So it really is so fun.
I love it, Kesley. Thank you so much. If anybody we have about 3 minutes left in class. If anybody has any questions that we might have missed or didn't answer, feel free to put it into the Q&A, and we're happy to answer that for you. And then, Kesley, I know you're going to get ready to go on vacation, so people might need to be a little tiny bit patient with you getting that design up in design.
I'll do that today. So I'm so excited they like it and they want to use it. That's awesome. Yeah. And we have, Joy, you might want, I don't know if Kelly, people can still sign up, but we are doing a class back to back. Yes, you can still sign up. We're doing a class for the maker. So if you were sort of on the fence, like, do I go for the Explorer? Do I go for a maker? What about the Joy? Well, we're not talking about Joy today. I mean, we are talking about Joy, but not the Joy machine. But if you were on the fence between, like, is it an Explorer or a maker? Please, if you have time, join us or check it out. It'll be recorded and on the YouTube channel where we go through very, similar things, but there's so much more you can do with the maker too. So it just depends on where you are as a crafter and what you want to make, because this Explorer family is our most popular family. And you just can't go wrong with this machine. It's great.
Yes, definitely. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. And thank you, Kesley. You got us through a lot of projects in an hour with with so much knowledge. We really appreciate you teaching for Cricut. And thank you so much, Michaels, for having us. And We hope you guys enjoy the new Explore 3 machine from Cricut.
Can't wait to see what you create.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.